Jesus Christ in the joke, like why not my own Hindu God joke? Because I tried it, I said I used to do Vishnu. That just sounds like I'm fucking some Indian guy named Vishnu. The joke doesn't work. And the joke matters to me, so. Okay. I've been living in Germany for 8 years, and when I first came to Germany, everyone told me, like I came to Frankfurt, and everyone told me, Frankfurt is Germany's crime capital. They told me, it's a weird thing to tell a foreigner, by the way. I landed at the airport, I felt like I saw a billboard that said, Frankfurt, Gotham of Deutschland. And I was freaked out. I was scared. I was walking through the city center all the time. I was on a red alert. I was like thinking, I hope nobody stabs me, or shoots me, or rapes me without consent. And 2 weeks, nothing happened. Not even a paper cut. And then I realized, you Germans have no idea what crime means. I come from India. Let me give you an example. In Germany, you can go to a restaurant, leave your bag at the seat. You go to the restroom, you come back, your bag is still there. With everything inside. In India, you go to a restaurant, you leave your bag at the seat, you go to the restroom, you come back, your bag is gone. And your baby is gone. Somebody stole your baby. In fact, the guy wanted to steal your baby. He was like, that's a nice baby. And then he's like, that's a nice bag. And you know how babies fit perfectly in bags. Don't look at me strange, just a fact. Don't ask me how I know it. But see, there's a market in India called Palika Bazaar, where you get all the pirated CDs, bootleg DVDs, whatever, you know. And everybody knows it, and if you want to go there, just call the cops, they will take you there. And I was there was one guy, and he was like, looked at me, and was like, hey. I was like, me? He's like, hey. I'm like, what? He's like, do you like Britney Spears? I'm like, I fucking hate Britney Spears. I don't like the music, you know? Like a virgin touch for the very first time. That's a joke for those stupid people who think like, oh, that's Madonna. Maybe they clever, yeah? I like how you're clapping for stupid people. Then I heard the lead and the guy was like, hey, I was like, what? I was like, hey, how about Mission Impossible 4? Tom Cruise, very good action. I was like, dude, I hate Tom Cruise. I hate that Scientologist. Leave me alone. I was like, hey, I'm like, what? Hey. Do you want a baby? And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, do you want a baby? And he clutched his bag. He had a fucking baby in his bag. And I had to look, because I'm a curious person. I wanted to first of all educate myself. I wanted to know that do babies really fit perfectly in bags? And I thought like, hey, if the baby is cute, I would resell it to Angelina Jolie. Oh. Especially the kids from Africa. Oh. Okay, hold on. You guys are laughing at that for like you think I'm a mean person for taking a baby from an illegal baby trade and giving him to a family that his father is Brad Pitt. I'm an asshole for giving him a great life. I would love to have Brad Pitt as my father, you know? If Brad Pitt would be like, hey, you wanna be my son? I'm like, fuck you, Dad. Brad Pitt, you're my father now. Then suck on them, Angelina Jolie. When I'm a baby, jeez. Get your imagination right. Okay, what else? But this is serious. In Germany, you can call the cops for anything. If you lost the shoe, you can call the cops. And the cops would come. And the fire truck would come. And the ambulance would come. heard of fire trucks. I've never seen it. It's like a legend. No, it's true because my dad used to tell me this story. He's like, son, let me tell you the story of red and white. It comes at a very hot time of the year when things are burning. And I was like, oh my god, one day I'm gonna see a fire truck. One day I'm gonna see a fire truck. And one day it really happened. There was a building burning, and it was burning down, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna see a fire truck. Yeah, I'm gonna see a fire truck. I was excited as a kid. And the building burned down like cookie crumbles and milk. And I was like, which is the sign of its arrival. That's what my dad told me. I was like, yeah! And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And the fire truck never came, which made me really sad, because I burned the building for no reason.
Yeah! Arson!
What else do I talk about? I'll give a little bit of like, how do you say? I'm a curious person, by the way. I'm a very curious person. Like, I approach every situation with some level of curiosity. So, for example, like, if I would get stabbed on the street, I would be lying there, right? Like, oh, blood oozing out of me. Like, 50% of me would be like, I'm gonna die. And 50% of me would be like, let's see what happens next. That's kind of the person I am. I'm curious. I don't know. You guys are not curious people. You never had a situation where you held a baby in your hand and 50% of you wants to drop the baby? You never had that? I never had that either. I only had it 49%. So 51% of me is like, keep the baby safe. So I keep the baby safe for now. Yeah. Look, 50% of me thinks that cancer should never exist, should have never been there. It's true. Cancer is a bad disease. I hope nobody gets cancer. Even Justin Bieber, I throw cancer, I get it, but still, it's a bad disease, so I hope nobody gets. So 50% of me thinks cancer should never exist. But 50% of me thinks if there was no cancer, there would be no Breaking Bad. I was like that also, like this thing's happened to me a lot. You will see a pattern here. I came to Germany and I also was on the flight and this lady told me like, we're just talking, she's an Indian lady and we're talking and she's like, I want to tell you something. You're going to Frankfurt, right? Germany. I'm like, yeah, we're on the fucking same flight. And she's like, I don't want to say this. And she clearly closed my ear and she said, in Germany, old men like young boys like you. And I was like, what the fuck? How come nobody ever told me that? You guys are silent like that is true. You make it like there's a conviction there. I freaked out. I didn't know that I was a fetish in Germany. For a specific age group. I was scared. I was like really scared. I landed in Germany. I went to my company, and the company people, they were like, "Ah, here's your, we'll take you to your apartment." And I'm like, "That's so cool, but are there any old people in here?" I was scared. Are there any old people in this audience also? Hi. So I was really freaked out, and I was at this supermarket, German supermarket, Aldi, whatever you call it, I don't care. And I was there, and there was this dude, this old guy, and he was giving me like a free sample of something. And I looked at him, and I was like, what the heck is that? And it was a packet of dick milk. I freaked out. I was like, what the heck? And he was like smiling, like, you want some dick milk? Bitte? I was like, gee, Dankeschön, But 50% of me was thinking, I wonder how dick milk tastes like. What else? favorite father figure. Do you know Marlboro Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people know, yeah. Well, Marlboro Man is like, he's the guy who is a cowboy with everything you find in cowboy fashion. Cowboy boots, cowboy hat, and the face of a white person. And he's rolling on a horse, he's a free man, but he chose to smoke cigarettes. Yeah. And my dad used to smoke Marlboro, and I always thought that my dad was smoking it wrong. I was like, Dad, look at him! Look at him! He goes where the flavor is! What are you doing? You're smoking like you're auditioning for Brokeback Mountain. Okay, I didn't say that because at that time the movie was not out. But in hindsight, that's what I was thinking. But it's a strange advertisement for Indian people. A white guy riding a cowboy horse, like, you know, he's like, yeah, living the life. Don't be a lady. And most of the people who smoke in India are like middle class workers. They do like, you know, plumbing, you know, they drive rickshaws and stuff, and they're like, that's all gonna be free? It's a weird advertisement. So then I got this idea. We should swap the commercials. So here is my commercial for white people. Here's a white person, he's going to his tuk-tuk. Starts it. He looks at the camera, he's like, living the life. And the commercial for the Indian person would be that he would just go to the airport and nobody would check him. Living the life. Oh, here's one. He would basically, like I imagine the Indian guy like driving a car in the US, and he's like, yeah, he's driving, he's like, woo, really excited, and you know, like he's speeding, and you hear the cop siren in the US, like, woo, and he's like, okay, he stops, he puts his hand on the steering wheel, and the cop walks over to him, like, rolls the window. Excuse me, sir. Can you please tell me a good Indian restaurant around here? And the Indian guy's like, hey man, I'm just smoking cigarettes, you know. And he's laughing, and the cop's laughing, and the cop's like, they're having a good time. And the cop's like, by the way, have you seen any black suspects in the neighborhood? That's a clever joke pointing the villain of black people, but I don't want to explain that. The Indian guy's like, dude, I'm just smoking cigarettes, don't hit me. Don't get me in trouble. And he's laughing, ha ha ha. And the cop's laughing, ha ha. And you know how they freeze frame the commercial? Like this? And in the bottom it says, come with the flavor, the smoking gives you white privilege. Oh, okay, so that is the set. Hey, other comedians, now you know what the sensitive topic here is. Don't go into white-black area, that's where they go, oh, that's a baby in back? Fucking love it. Black and white, that's where I draw the line, you know. Well, how many good time did you want to it?
Do the passport one with your child. It's amazing.
No, I will do it. I'll show you differently. I haven't seen it. Let me show you. Okay. So I love my son, by the way. I have a son. He's 3 years old. I love him very much. And I spend a lot of time at the playground with him. And really enjoy it. Love it. Not my son, just saying. And how to say? I go to the playground, and anytime when my son leaves me for like few seconds, just like a bit like going to this German death trap gymnastics that you make for your kids. And he's playing on it. All the other parents look at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing over here? I cannot be an adult and be at the playground with a kid around me. Like that's my kid. It can't be a white kid. That's my problem. You know? It's just like quite problematic. Because I want to go to the playground and let my son play away from me. So I got this idea. I took a t-shirt and I printed on it, "I'm not a pedophile." Okay, but for some reason that doesn't help. I also had this idea, like, what if I take a t-shirt and say, "Child pornography, what's that?" Okay, let me put it this way. For those who laughed at the joke, thank you very much. And for those who didn't laugh at the joke, go fuck yourself. I'll tell you why, it's a very clever joke, because there's like two takes. One, I'm taking a jab at political correctness. I just said that I'm not a pedophile. All you people heard the keyword pedophile, and you're like, pedophile, pedophile, pedophile. So, second thing is, it shows my dilemma as a parent at the playground. You feel my pain. You know, by the way, I just want to let you know, I had a bit of a hard time printing that t-shirt. Because I went to the print shop and I gave the paper to the guy and he's like, "What is this?" I said, "It says I'm not a pedophile." And he's like, "And you want to print it on the t-shirt?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Why?" "Because I'm not a pedophile." So just to give you a perspective, this is the perspective, okay? You could be at the playground, like me as a parent, I'm at the playground with my kid. You would see one guy wearing a t-shirt that says, "I'm a pedophile." One guy wearing a t-shirt that says, "I'm not a pedophile." And one guy wearing a t-shirt that says, "I am Michael Jackson." You would immediately pick the guy who's wearing a t-shirt that says, "I am Michael Jackson." Right? How do you know it's not Michael Jackson? I'm just saying, how do you know? How do you not know? How do you not know that Michael Jackson faked his death and for some reason decided to live in Frankfurt, wore a t-shirt that says, "I'm Michael Jackson," doing like his fucking killer moves, and nobody realized. You know why I think that? Because he